It was one of the most powerful quakes Turkey had ever seen. More than 50,000 people died. The scale of the destruction was almost impossible to comprehend back in February. I was reporting on the ground in the hours and days and weeks afterwards, hearing people's stories, people who'd lost not just relatives, but entire families. Millions were jolted awake at 4:17 a.m. when the first earthquake hit. Many were killed where their bodies were found still in their beds. Another quake hours later brought fresh damage to advance new technology, have given people more time to escape a system which was already supposed to be working successfully. Music here in California, Google has spent years creating an earthquake warning system designed to alert people before an earthquake strikes. It works on any Android phone. That's about 80% of all of the phones in Turkey. And this is Google's explainer on how it works. Android phones have these tiny accelerometers built into them, which can sense earthquakes. People will now be able to have their phones become part of this network of mini seismometers, looking for earthquakes around the world. We call this the Android Earthquake Alert System. When the phone detects an earthquake, it sends a message back to Google servers. When enough phones do this, Google can pinpoint the epicenter and send out an earthquake warning. This is what millions of people in Turkey in theory got before the earthquake struck. And so you'll hear it go. It looks like this and it says drop cover and holds. So it's pretty loud, it's pretty loud. This is Micah Berman, the product manager for the system at Google. He explains how earthquakes move through the ground relatively slowly compared to a message near instantly reaching your phone. So the farther you are from the epicenter of the earthquake, the more warning time we're able to give you generally, because we've detected it at the epicenter. And if you're farther away, we're racing the speed of light and the speed of motion through the ground. The speed of light wins by more and more and more, the farther you get away from the epicenter of the earthquake. So sometimes it might be a second or a fraction of a second. Sometimes it might be 20 or 30 seconds. Sometimes it might be 50 or 60 seconds. It depends on all of those factors together, how much warning we're able to give you. Could this save lives? Has it saved lives? I certainly hope so. And that's our intent, is to be able to give users as much warning as we possibly can to help them protect themselves, their families, their loved ones. So this is a core service of Android. It was 2 or 3 in the morning. I was sound asleep. This is a Google advert about the system. A man talks of the worries of living in an earthquake zone and the comfort of having the service. The notification said there was an earthquake. They said how big it was and how far it was. It's one less thing I have to worry about. Here's the crucial thing, it works automatically on any Android phone. You don't need to turn it on. If your phone was on, do not disturb. It would override that exactly the same behavior that you just heard. No matter what state your phone is in it, you should get that warning. Yes, the company claims that is exactly what happened in Turkey. Millions of people received a warning, so our system did activate for both of the major events in Turkey, as well as for a number of aftershocks. I was really puzzled by that claim because I was here on the ground in Turkey in the hours and the days and the weeks after the earthquake, and nobody had ever mentioned in any interview with me receiving an alert before the earthquake. So we decided to go to 3 cities that had been impacted: Adana, Osmaniye, and Iskenderun. They reached between 70 and 150 kilometers from the epicenter. So enough of a distance away to get a warning, and I simply asked people whether they'd received an alert. Everyone you're about to hear from has an Android phone. So when the earthquake happened, the first one that happened in the night, did you get this alert on your phone? At the time of the earthquake when you were sleeping, no. And what about, so it looked like that and it makes a sound, I think, no, 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 click this message. Music. Ali Jan lost his grandmother when the hospital building she was being treated in collapsed. Did your Android phone, did it send you an image, a warning? Did it make a sound? Did it send you any kind of alert at 417 that earthquake was starting? Nope, nothing. Right after the earthquake, I went to Google to check the magnitude. So this came up on Google, but this look. Your screenshot is 432.32. Yeah, so this was long after the earthquake happened. We did find a few people who had heard it before, but not for the first major earthquake sounds like this. That one time the big earthquake, nothing